Hello, and welcome to All Shorts. And I'm here again, sitting in front of the old shack and what have you, looking over there to the view and what have you. It's absolutely lovely. My little dog is sitting over there in the grass, little Wally is, yeah, basking in the, well, I wouldn't say sun because we're overcast at the moment, but he's sprawled out, he is. And just, thinking about stuff. I'm a bit older now, you see, you know. I'm not that old, but I'm old enough to have a little bit of life experience. I've messed up at times, you know. We all have. And you learn by your mistakes, don't you? Okay, through life and what have you. But I think to myself, you know, what if I was a young man today? Or wouldn't come to that. I'd have to think to myself, well, what the hell does society want from me? Our social norms in the past were dictated that the man was the breadwinner, the provider, the protector. And the woman would be the homemaker, child maker. Oh, yeah. And my pleasurer. Oh, my fluffer maybe, I don't know. Well, those times have changed. Women have kind of, they've pushed back. And so they should. They've pushed back. What equality. Women's rights, suffragettes. I know. Well, women want us to be attentive and understand their needs. I agree with that. I really do. We must have this communication, this engagement with each other. It's not just one-sided. It's not about what I want all the time. Sometimes I have to do things that their missus wants to do. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I do it. Keep the peace. You know, I want a peaceful life. I might not enjoy it. I might pretend I'm enjoying it, but you know what it is. Nothing saucy. I'm not talking about, maybe line dancing or something like that. I don't know. Argument's sake. But this is kind of pushed back on masculine toxicity, I suppose. Or toxic masculinity, that's it. But, you know when you push too hard one way, what happens? Those pushing against it push even harder. And that's just like, I suppose, political correctness. Now, okay, they might call it wokeism now, which is a load of bollocks. It's just been weaponised in my view. The term woke has just been drawn right out of proportion. It doesn't even mean what it means anymore. It's ridiculous. It's just political correctness, and I feel that we on the left, that we've pushed, I've mentioned this before in the previous video actually, that we've pushed so hard back against nastiness and things that are a little bit risque, even in comedy and what have you. And what's happened is those who want to push back, they've always got the loudest voices and they're pushing really hard. And unfortunately, the nastiness is returning. You can argue the same in relationships. And equality between men and women. But if you want equality, you have to accept responsibility. You can't have equality without responsibility. In the workplace especially, argument's sake, I used to employ people. I put ads out. I wasn't saying that I wanted a male bricklayer. No, I'd say, I want a bricklayer. I don't want a male chippy, I just want a chippy. I don't want a male labourer, I just want a labourer. Or whatever it might be, in our building game. It didn't worry me. In fact, I might actually give preferential treatment if it was a woman, if I'm absolutely honest, because that creates imbalance in the workforce. Might tone down their language somewhat. If I'm honest about it. But the thing is, women did not apply for those jobs. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's just a fact. Sadly, if I'm honest about it. But also, I don't blame them either. Because us blokes were doing all the flipping hard craft. In many ways. Okay, giving birth to children and stuff like that sounds pretty like a tough deal to me. You got you got the short straw there. You really did. But no, I think equal pay, equal. Oh, it's obvious, isn't it? Really? It's got to be. If you do the equal job, you get equal pay. Unfortunately, there's still wage disparity regarding between men and women. You could say between genres, I suppose. Genders, I suppose. Genders. And it's no over time. I suppose men have, but I would say a majority of men have changed. All this hate and all this kind of sexism, what have you, misogynistic, that is a minority. It still is. It is a minority. I believe it's a minority from what I can see. But unfortunately, that worm is starting to turn because we're pushed so hard in one direction. It's, if you ask me, it's starting to come back and going to slap us hard in the face. It really is. You've only got to look at Brexit and all that, and politics as it is at the moment. It's toxic, really toxic. And the loudest voices out there are the ones who are, well, they seem to have, well, the loudest voices. Okay, you can argue that maybe that hasn't paid off for them when you look at politics at the moment. The Conservatives, for instance, may only get 100 seats. Massive majority for Labour. But I would argue that Labour's also moved to the right a bit. It's not the same Labour. It's not. I don't believe that Labour in its current form is socialist at all. Verging on conservatism. Capitalism. Well, so we're manipulated really by our surroundings. It used to be through religion and stuff like that, but you know, religion doesn't seem to get the uptake that it used to. Okay, conservatism maybe they use religion. Conservatives do to argue their argument, you know, to their point of view, their narrative. Half they don't believe it. They don't believe in God and the Bible and all that sort of stuff. And me being an atheist, I don't either. I think I feel it's all a bit silly. I'm sorry, if you're, feeling faith and whatever, you should have faith in yourself to do the right thing, and do the right thing to others, for others, and what have you. Do a bit of charity work, maybe. Look after your children, look after your family, do what you're supposed to do. That's what you're meant to do. You shouldn't, expect a reward or a badge. No, that's what you're supposed to do. But many people are checking out of society. Those societal norms of the past are all becoming the past. It's changing again. That worm is turning yet again. Now, circumstances, what have you, and you've got cost of living crisis, mortgage rates, the cost, house price inflation. Okay, that's likely to be coming down very soon, but it's not going to come down enough. No. How much money do you need now to just buy a terrace house? 240,000? When you look at the average wage and what have you, it's just not feasible. And interest rates being what they are, it's just not feasible. And old people tell us, well, when I was a kid, I didn't get a kick. When I was a boy, when I was a man, when I was a young man, I come to school, what have you, I got myself a job, I worked hard, I did. And then I bought myself a house. It cost me 500 quid it did, but the interest rates were 14% or something stupid like that. Yeah, we managed. Yeah, but you just admitted your house cost 500 quid. It's disproportionate. So you got the mortgages, you got austerity, you got Brexit thrown into the mix as well, screwing everything up. How much money's been spent just to facilitate Brexit? How much money's been spent to facilitate these barges that now have legionnaires? Put the people on there, take the people off. But it's not just people necessarily. There's a whole pushing back in various situations such as political correctness and stuff like that. But you're talking about societal norms and that, we're all supposed to be attentive men. The women are saying, well, there ain't no good men out there anymore. I want a man to look after me. I want a man to provide and a strong man and what have you. Then here comes Andrew Tate. People are buying into it. Now, if we hadn't pushed so hard in one direction, I feel that maybe people like Andrew Tate wouldn't have such a lively platform to tout his misogyny, his narcissism, although sometimes he talks a lot of sense. But on the whole, he's just a nasty piece of work, that he is. As a bloke myself, I wouldn't know what to do these days. I wouldn't know how to approach a relationship. I wouldn't even know how to chat a girl up these days, to be honest. I don't have a flipping clue. I don't want to hear about Brexit. No! The eye rolling and they'll fall asleep. So men are sort of thinking to themselves, oh God, what do you want from us? Don't know anymore. Oh my, get it out, what do I do? What do I do? As a result, with things as have changed over the years, with expecting more from the man and not having this kind of love-hate kind of relationship, because what marriage is, there's a bit of love-hate going on there. You know, it's not going to be smooth sailing all the way. There's going to be times in the marriage and what have you, and relationships that are a little bit toxic, and other times it'll be fantastic. But these days, it's just very easy, isn't it, to say, okay, then I had enough of this. I'm going to check out of this marriage or this relationship. I'm not going to see it through to the end. Kids might be in the mix, you know. Maybe that's why, you know. Maybe it's only the kids over a period of time that have already been holding your relationship together. They were the glue. Once they've all, well, flew the coop and what have you, and left home, these days it's becoming a, how to put it, not quite so likely. No. It's becoming impossible for many of our kids now to leave home. But let's say for argument's sake that they did leave home. Well, actually, to be fair, we're talking about that kind of age group, well, then maybe they're not the glue. But I'm talking about young kids, maybe. Young kids really are the glue that hold a relationship together. Because, as a couple, quite often you want to do what's right by your kids, and you'll put up with the rough and the smooth. But these days, it's very, very easy just to give up. Have a divorce. Say no more. And especially on the women's side. Most divorces are instigated by women. There again, in many cases, the man who might have actually, planted that seed, maybe he's played about a bit. Been a naughty boy, maybe. And obviously, you can't sustain a relationship like that on the basis of lies, can you? So, those sort of relationships break up. But it's becoming more and more likely these days, and it's becoming more easy. A relationship with men and what have you, with social media, what have you, it's, Tinder. Or Grindr, I don't know, whatever you're into. It becomes easier to find non-committal relationships. As such, your existing relationship breaks down. You're no longer getting from your relationship, your marriage, what you were getting from it before, and you think the grass is greener on the other side. So you bugger off. But new relationships are suffering now as a result of this past mentality towards relationships, social norms. And social norms of the past are the past. And then we have the social norms that we must be attentive, and then we've got the social norms now that maybe shortism is in relationships is a bit concerning, especially for men. If a man enters a relationship, for instance, and they have a couple of kids and what have you, and it all breaks down within a few years, and all of a sudden they're left with child support payments, CSA, on their back. Of course, they have to support their children. But it is a worry, it's a fear for those it's something that many men these days are going to think to themselves, actually, or the breadwinner, maybe I should just say the breadwinner of the family. If it is only one person, or there's one major income source, that person, whether it be the man or the woman, in fact, might think to themselves, well, I don't know if I want to enter into a relationship just in case. I could end up paying for this for the rest of my life nearly. Maybe I want to. Maybe you separate as there's a toxicity there and you get pushed out a bit. Maybe you don't get to see the kids and you think, so what's the point? Why am I paying all this money? I can't even see my kids. They'll be poisoned against me, etc., etc. Don't get me wrong, some people deserve it. Men or women. But many men and women are choosing celibacy. They're saying, I don't want this anymore. We're in an environment where we're sat there, when the Conservatives say we need to make more children. We've got to make more. You've got to get jiggy with it. But we're pushing back, saying no. I can't remember what the rate was. It's some we only got like under one, about half a child per couple now. But on average, whereas you need like 2.5 or so. I can't remember the facts, but maybe you can tell me. Leave in the comments down below. But it's we're not making or having enough children to sustain society. Then some people argue, and maybe we don't need to. It's going to take all the jobs. And then also some people say we don't need to because of immigration. They say we're invaded, they say. It's an invasion, said Sue Ellen Braverman. Or should I call her Legionella Braverman now, since she's very happy to have Legionnaire's disease on the Bibi Stockholm prison ship. Yeah, I warned about that. I said that would happen. Nuts. And what do you reckon? Do you feel that men and women are checking out from society, from social norms? Things of the past that are expected of us. Will the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg try and push back as well and say, we need to stick the kids up the chimney. Have 20 kids and call them Sixtus. That kind of stuff. I know there's a few individuals out there been helping, such as Jacob Rees-Mogg and Alexander Boris de Ethel Johnson. We know he's got at least 15 kids. Or was it 16? We don't know. We don't even know if that woman that he put into the House of Lords is one of his kids. Looks like him. Oh dear, I just so much to contemplate and so much to think about. It kind of racks my brain, it really does. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting there in front of the shack here and just contemplating shit. I actually do feel sorry for the youngsters of today. The future's looking quite bleak regarding the environment and what have you. The future's looking quite bleak regarding social issues and what have you. Society as a whole. There don't seem to be any substrate there to actually, no base there to hold it all together. Many youngsters these days are growing up, they're so confused. They don't know if they're, male, female, whatever gender. Doesn't matter though, be honest. I just want to be me. If I'm absolutely honest about it, I just want to be me. In fact, when I was growing up as a kid, it's a little story. When I was growing up as a kid, and and my sister would bring her friends round and that, and I was an annoying brother. I was an extremely annoying brother. I was the one doing all the naughty stuff, that I was. And anyway, they'd ask me, are you a boy or are you a girl? I said, I'm a Marcus, I'd say. I mean, I was that tall with blonde hair, that I was. It just makes me wonder, it does, where we're really heading in this mad, mad world. People are confused, they just don't know what society wants from them anymore. But you know what I say to you? You just got to do what is right for you. Don't put yourself in this bubble. Don't worry about social norms. Don't worry about religion and stuff like that. If you want to, take part in religion, that's up to you. If it's your thing, that's fine. But don't allow it to manipulate you. Or any social norms. Well, I think we need to, even your parents and what have you. That made it quite clear with Brexit and what have you. But even with your parents and what have you, instead of following they've always voted Conservative, so I'll go vote Conservative. I've always voted Labour, I'll go vote Labour. Well, think for yourself. That was the problem with Brexit, you see. People didn't think for themselves. Many people just, they just listened to the likes of Nigel Farage, Jacob Rees-Mogg and all that ilk, Didn't think for themselves. No. They were indoctrinated. That they were. And you tell me, do you feel that men and women are checking out from society? Please leave it in the comments down below. Yeah. Oh. You can't see him, but my little boy is there now. He is. Maybe I've got a big mirror so I can show you. Maybe. He's a lovely little boy anyway. It's time for me to go because I'm going to do a bit of work, I think. And maybe I'll cut this blooming grass because it really needs it. It's getting all tufty. It's all tufty. It's been dry, you see. It's dry and it's wet and dry and wet. And then all the stronger grasses, like there he goes. And all the stronger, there's a car gone past in the distance. There's a road literally just over there, right in the distance. And the car's just gone past. And it's, there's my dog running after it. Although I have to admit the gate's left open, so I hope he doesn't go all the way. He's barking now. Anyway, I better see what he's up to. So, if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the link's down below, and it is very much appreciated. We've also got memberships and stuff like that as well. And what we're doing regarding the memberships, I'm going to do various stuff. I've started actually moving over a lot of my older videos, and some that too. So if they haven't done too well, not because they're bad videos, but because maybe they weren't, I wasn't on point at the time, or having the YouTube algorithm, or maybe I upload too many videos, I'm going to put them over into the memberships. So, you're about to go into there and look, and you'll have access to all the memberships. So, the videos that I put into, you'll be I put it. It's in the memberships playlist anyway. Yeah, okay. So it's got, well, whatever you call it. Yeah. So there will end up being quite a few videos in there. I put a load up that last night, but the bulk or majority of my videos will end up going into the memberships over time. And I have a load of videos that, for instance, quite fun ones and interesting ones as well, that I've done in the past, and some that make me look like a right idiot. And I'm going to put them into the memberships category as well. So, if you want to become a member, there's a link down below there is. And anyway, I'm gonna go and do some work, I suppose. So, but you know what? If you do something for somebody else, you'll actually be doing something for yourself. Quite frankly. Anyway, it's time for me to go. So, ta-ta, Are you still there? Ta-ta.